Hi, I'm Tinny from Mini Bowl Design, and today I'm out in the shipping room. This is where Beth pulls all the orders and ships everything. Pulls all the stuff out of the drawers and puts it in the boxes and seals it all up and prints the labels and puts the postage on and sends them out. She also has a dry board over there where she writes down everything that she's out of stock on, which is basically my workload on a daily basis. And right now she needs a snow peak lids, 3 pot wicks, and a couple windscreens. So anyway, today I thought it'll probably take a couple videos to do it. I thought I'd start right here with drawer 1 and pull each item out and tell you everything I can think of about it, and just move from drawer to drawer and go through all the inventory. Be kind of fun, and maybe we'll both learn something. So let's get started. The very first drawer I'm going to pull out here is a mini bongo. Now, this is basically a simmer stove. Comes with an extra cap. Now, this is a 2-ounce bottle, because this stove doesn't use, it's very frugal, it doesn't burn much fuel, so a 2-ounce bottle is plenty big enough. Now it has a micro nipple on it, the very small micro nipple, it's only like 1/3 the size of the rest of the bongos, and a very small micro line, another micro nipple here. Now, whether you can see this or not, this is a very simple stove, standard classic bongo design, small base because it is a small stove, it doesn't need a very big base, silicone sleeve, standard bongo small top with a 1/2 inch hole, because this only takes a 1/2 inch, a straight 1/2 inch wick. This is a real small flame, and I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, now these ridges on the top are so if you overfill it and the alcohol starts to run out, it won't run over the edge, it'll get caught in these ribs and you'll see it, so you can stop before you overflow the stove. If you do overflow it and the alcohol gets down here and catches fire, this silicone will take quite a bit of flame, you know, not a huge amount, but if it'll take small overflows hundreds of times. It just won't take a great big huge one. Now this stove, basically, you'd use it to simmer. If you squeeze a bottle, you'll see the wick start to get shiny when it gets loaded up with alcohol, and light it. Use it with a wire pot stand, and it'll simmer for about, I think, probably 8 minutes before you'll need to refill it again. Now when it starts to get down low, you'll see the carbon felt kind of start to glow orange. It won't hurt any if you run it out of alcohol. Carbon felt is unlike fiberglass. Carbon felt doesn't matter if you run out of alcohol or not. So after 8 minutes it starts to glow orange. Just give it a little bit more of a squeeze and you can go for another 8 minutes. Squeeze it till it starts to look shiny. It's not too hard to get the hang of. This would be a good stove for if you were going to like cook pasta and you'd brought it to a boil and then you wanted to just simmer it for a long time. This would work good. If you're going to bake with like a grate oven or anything for the small ovens, this would be a good heat source for it. It's kind of a unique stove, not something everybody wants to carry because you can simmer with some of the other stoves, but not a lot of money and unique. Quite a nice stove. I really like it. And it comes with a spare cap. So that's the scoop on the mini bongo. Probably 100 things I forgot to tell you about that, but okay, next up in the arsenal would be a bongo high nipple. So let's pull that out, take a look at that. Okay, this comes with a couple spare caps, an 8-ounce bottle, standard 1/8 nipples, and standard tubing, full size. It has a wide base. It's a bigger stove and it needs a little wider base. And with this heavier tubing, if you don't have a wide base, it'll tip a stove over. But this one is the base is heavy enough so this tubing doesn't bother it any. And it has a standard bongo design silicone tube that hitches the two bodies together, and a significantly larger turbo top, bigger than the simmer top. Halfway between this and the Moab, between the simmer top and the Moab, this is a turbo top. This is the one I use usually if I'm going to cook pancakes or just for general use, for general cooking. Needs a wire pot stand, works well with the beer can pots or some of the smaller pots like Snow Peak 600, 700 pots. I wouldn't go much bigger than that. And like the rest of the bongos, you just squeeze it till it starts to get glossy up here, light it. It'll go, I don't know, 5 to 6 minutes between fuel. You can let it burn back so there's just a flame in the center and put in a small amount at a time and actually simmer with it once you get the hang of it. For you, those of you that don't know what this silicone tube is all about, for this particular stove, since the wick is burning in this upper half, it gets hot. Now, because I've got a fairly big reservoir of alcohol below it that I don't want to boil, the silicone stops the heat from traveling down into the base. It can't travel through the silicone, so it doesn't heat up the base and boil the alcohol. And this particular stove, that's the secret of it. And this is a good general purpose stove for just general cooking. Nice and lightweight, very compact. And that's pretty much all there is to know about this one. Okay, now we're starting to pull out the big guns here. This is a Bongo Pro. This is something that the average person probably comes with a big chunk of carbon felt. This is something the average person probably couldn't afford or wouldn't have a lot of use for. But if you have the money and you want a really nice stove, by the way, when you get this, the legs are inside this 8-ounce bottle. Comes with a couple spare caps, chunk of carbon felt, and because it's a Bongo Pro kit, it comes with a simmer top. You just take the top off that's on there and snap this one right on. So it comes with a simmer top, and then you have the famous Bongo Pro base, which is a standard bongo, but the base has been skeletonized. It's got 9 7/16 holes in it, and it's got a groove cut here, so it cuts it down about 1 ounce. And the holes here, if you're not familiar with the Bongo Pro design, the holes here, there's a hole here that goes down through, and then there's a blind hole in the bottom. So the legs go into the holes, and this is designed to work with the base of most beer cans. It locks right on, and there you go. Standard bongo design with the silicone. Screw your bottle on, squeeze it, fuel it up. It's the same as a bongo high nipple as far as the operation goes. The only difference is it has a built-in pot stand and a skeletonized base. It's a real nice stove, but there's a lot of work in it, and it's a really expensive stove. But if you've got the money, that's the stove to go with. And we'll put this back in the bag and move to the next one. Okay, that's one line of drawers. I'm going to call it even right there for tonight. Tomorrow night or the next time I do a video, I'll do the next set of drawers. Now, yeah, I'm going to start offering the 32-ounce carry cases in the store pretty soon. I've had a few people ask about those, and a lot of people, you know, they want them, the smaller ones, the 16-ounce ones. They want them. They can't seem to find them because these don't have the indent in them that the regular Ziploc has. They're straight-sided, so a lot of things will fit in them that don't fit in a Ziploc. So I'm going to be putting those in the store pretty soon as I get a bunch of them in. And I think I'm going to call it even right there. Tomorrow night I'll start with the squirrel cage. I'm Tinny. Get out and hike, take a friend, enjoy the great outdoors, and more important than anything, have a really great day. Bye-bye.